Do you currently live in California and are considering relocating and wondering if North Carolina would be a good fit for you and your family? People love living in California for its beautiful weather, stunning beaches, entertainment, and tech industries. The state offers a mix of bustling cities and serene nature, including national parks and wildlife refuges. Yet, despite all this, people are leaving California in droves for many reasons and flocking to North Carolina to call home. My family and I were in the same situation 7 years ago when we started researching possible states with similarities to California. One of the number one questions I get asked all the time is why we moved here to Raleigh, North Carolina from California, and if we miss it. And while I grew up in California and can say it will always have a special place in my heart, I'm now a Carolinian girl. Today, I'll be talking about the top 10 reasons people are making an exodus and relocating to North Carolina, including my family and I, and why we will never move back. So let's just go ahead and jump right on in, and we're gonna start with number one, which is gonna be natural disasters. I grew up in Southern California from the time I was 3 years old, and as long as I can remember, we always had issues with droughts, wildfires, and mudslides. As a kid, I think I was most afraid of the earthquakes, especially when they would happen in the wee hours of the morning when we were all sleeping. I still remember earthquake drills at school underneath our desk, but year after year, California is continually plagued by vicious cycles of droughts, wildfires, and mudslides. Even currently, as I'm recording this video, September 2024, I have many friends in harm's way from multiple wildfires due to the extreme heat. The state has reported a total of over 432,000 emergency responses and nearly 1 million acres burned due to wildfires this year. One of my clients relocating here even said they had a fire plane from New Zealand to help fight these fires. As a result, many major insurance companies in California are canceling existing policies and refusing to issue new ones. This has been noted as a significant crisis in the state's homeowner insurance market. From summer 2023 to early 2024, 5 additional companies stopped writing new home insurance policies in California. Over the last year, several large insurance companies such as Geico, Allstate, and most surprisingly, Liberty Mutual have pulled out of California's auto insurance market as well. And while North Carolina does have some tornadoes and hurricanes, I did my research prior to moving here and found if we look at the data from 1851 to 2022, it shows while North Carolina is 4th on the rankings for hurricanes, there hasn't been any Category 5s, only 1 Category 4, and there's only been 6 Category 3s. So what does that actually mean? Yes, we get hurricanes, but history shows it's very far and few between that they will be destructive hurricanes, especially considering here in Raleigh. We are not on the coastline, which is where the majority of the ones that have typically landed. Here locally, we typically get a lot of wind and rain and some power outages sometimes, with branches or a few trees that fall down. We've learned after our first hurricane power outage to have a generator ready to go at all times in our garage. We even had an electrician come and install a switch so I can just plug and flip the switch and we have instant power. So if you move to the area, you should be aware and prepared, but I wouldn't freak out about hurricanes. Number 2 is going to be the high cost of living. California consistently ranks as one of the most expensive states to live in, while soaring costs for housing, transportation, food, and utilities that tend to be higher than the national average. Personally speaking, the cost of living was a huge factor for us when we relocated from Southern California. You can go onto a cost calculator. I used bestplaces.net. Type in where you're currently living versus where you're considering relocating For example, we moved here from Long Beach, California, so putting in Raleigh, North Carolina, and then add your annual salary. Then it'll give you a quick comparison of prices. For us, the cost of living was 35% lower overall and housing 42% lower. Now don't get me wrong, across the board, the cost of living these days is pretty high. But in California, between the cost of income tax to sales tax and even property tax on your home and filling up that gas tank, I could go on and on. It's just so much more expensive. Last time I talked to one of my friends in California, gas prices were about $2.50 more expensive per gallon than right here in Raleigh. I can almost fill up my car 2 times next to California's one-time gas fill up. And that's just nuts. Now I will say 2 expenses that seem more high in Raleigh versus California were our health insurance and even our grocery bill didn't seem that much cheaper. But again, your money doesn't stretch as far these days at the grocery store. I missed the double and triple coupons back in the day. I was a huge coupon clipper and would score lots of free items. But again, overall, the actual cost of goods and services are more affordable and our taxes are low, making it a better living standard here in North Carolina. Speaking of affordability, colleges were important to us for our children. I was surprised to see that the acceptance rate for college is nearly 11% lower than the national average to get into college in California. Looking at California versus North Carolina actually ranks in the top 10 for affordable tuition and fees. Digging in a little deeper, I found that Raleigh spends 29% less per student than San Diego students. Even the student to teacher ratio is over 33% lower in Raleigh versus San Diego. Now that's a definite plus if you or your children seek great college options. We have some of the best ranking colleges locally here in the Raleigh-Durham Chapel Hill area, from NC State to Duke University, UNC Chapel Hill, Meredith, Shaw, William Peace, Wake Tech, and more. Number 3 is the skyrocketing housing prices. Homeownership costs have become unattainable for many, pushing residents to seek more affordable housing in other states. The average home price in California is approximately $785,000, making it difficult for many residents to afford housing. So you may not be surprised to learn that affordable housing plays the most significant role in the low cost of living in North Carolina. And it's true, with a median listed home price coming in at around $498,000 here in the Raleigh area. Many people end up moving to North Carolina to fulfill their lifelong dream of owning a home. The affordable housing prices and reasonable property taxes make it an attainable option for many. Now, it will cost a bit more depending on location. The median home price can fluctuate another $100,000 to $150,000 depending on popular cities and suburbs surrounding the Raleigh-Durham Chapel Hill Triangle area. Number 4 is going to be quality of life concerns. Between the high cost of living, homelessness, and other life challenges, some residents feel their overall quality of life is better in other states where their income stretches further and everyday stressors are lower. When it comes to quality of life, Raleigh offers a blend of urban amenities with a relaxed southern atmosphere. Raleigh ranked number 2 for state capital for affordability and number 12 for quality of life for the best place to call home based on jobs, safety, educational opportunities, and more, according to wallethub.com. Raleigh alone has 200 parks, making up almost 10,000 acres of parks with over 100 miles of greenways to walk, hike, and bike. There's plenty of lakes and rivers, perfect for fishing, kayaking, or even swimming. So if you love the outdoors, Raleigh definitely has plenty to offer. And when it comes to healthcare, the Triangle area offers phenomenal hospitals and doctors. Durham is even known as the City of Medicine. This was really important to us, as not only are we getting older and want access to some of the best medical facilities, but our daughter also has a heart tumor, so moving across the country and leaving her amazing doctor that had been with her since birth was a top priority for us. North Carolina is also known for its reputable schools and universities. And when it comes to public schools, Wake County Schools ranks second best in school districts in the Raleigh area. Fun fact, Raleigh is the top 10 most educated cities in the US. So if education is important to you and your family, Raleigh is definitely a place to consider. Number 5, high taxes. California has the highest state income tax rate at 13.3%, along with steep sales and gas taxes. California also has some of the highest income and property taxes in the US, prompting many people to move states with lower tax burdens. In contrast, North Carolina has competitive tax rates which can benefit both individuals and businesses. North Carolina's state sales tax is 4.75%, with a local sales tax rate of 2.75%. In some areas, that can bring the total rate up to 7.5%. The state also has a flat income tax rate of 4.75% for individuals and 2.5% for corporations. Property taxes are assessed at a county level and vary depending on the location of the property. Number 6 is the low job growth rate and job opportunities. California's job growth rate has been trailing behind the national average in recent years, with the rise of remote work and growing job markets in other states like Texas, Arizona, and Nevada. Many professionals are finding it easier to live outside of California while maintaining employment. There have been quite a bit of businesses leaving the state of California. Many companies are relocating from California due to high operating costs and strict regulations. With California known for its strict business regulations and high operating costs, making it challenging for small businesses and entrepreneurs. Many are moving to states with more business-friendly environments. Our area in the Raleigh-Durham Triangle continues to attract people in the research, technology, education, and healthcare industries. North Carolina as a whole ranks among the top 3 in the nation for bioscience employment. Our Triangle region has over 600 life science companies, making it a global leader in this field. Our Research Triangle Park houses world-class companies and attracts professionals, with over 375 companies housed on a 7,000-acre campus. And Raleigh estimates future job growth over the next decade to be just over 44%. Number 7 is the traffic congestion. Major cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco are known for severe traffic problems, leading to long commutes and stress. California's large urban centers, especially in Southern California, are infamous for severe traffic issues, making commutes long and stressful. In California, the traffic has become so unbearable, it's like sitting in a parking lot after a Super Bowl game for hours. Back in the day, we could zip around and be in most places in less than 30 minutes, and carpool lanes actually used to move and get you somewhere quick. Now, when we went to visit last year, it took us an hour and we didn't even go 5 miles. I was like, what the heck's going on? I definitely don't like traffic. And although I will say in the last 7 years since we've lived here in the Raleigh area, there is definitely more traffic, but it still very much pales in comparison to California all around. And a fun fact, you can get to Raleigh in about 20 to 30 minutes on average for most all the surrounding suburbs, with an exception of a few. And even factoring in rush hour traffic, you'll add around 15 minutes more to your commute time. Not an hour or more like California. I'll take Raleigh traffic and the country roads any day of the week. Number 8 is crime rates. Some of California's major cities experience higher crime rates compared to other large cities nationwide. And year after year, Raleigh and many surrounding suburbs are ranked as top places to live and top safest cities to live in. Number 9 is the homelessness. California has a growing homeless population, which can make some residents feel unsafe or uncomfortable. Cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco are grappling with a significant homelessness problem, which has led to concerns about safety and quality of life. In comparison, Raleigh, North Carolina is not immune to homelessness issues either, but we have far less homelessness crisis than California. You won't find endless areas and streets lined with tents and people sleeping on the streets and bridges. In January 2023, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development estimated that approximately 181,399 people were experiencing homelessness in California, which is nearly 30% of the total homeless population in the United States. California's per capita rate of homelessness is also one of the highest in the country, with almost 0.5% of residents estimated to be homeless. And our final one, coming in at number 10, is the political climate. Some conservatives are leaving the state due to disagreements with California's liberal politics and policies. These factors combined have led to a significant exodus from California, with more people leaving the state than moving in over the past few years. Some residents are dissatisfied with California's liberal political policies, which include strict regulations and social programs. This has driven people with different political views to relocate to more conservative states. North Carolina is considered a purple state, and I feel like there is a good mix of blue, red, and even libertarians. The city tends to be more liberal, and then the farther away that you get from the city, like 30, 45 minutes, or even an hour outside of Raleigh, you're going to notice that it tends to get a bit more conservative. And I always tell people, if you want to find out what kind of community you're moving into, whether you're looking for a more liberal community, conservative, or somewhere right in the middle, you'll notice as you're driving through a lot of the neighborhoods and within the cities, you're going to notice flags that will let you know what political stance a person takes. Now, when I lived in California, I really don't remember a lot of our neighborhoods having all the political signage and flags, but a lot has changed over the years, and it has been 7 years since I lived in California, so maybe it's changed. Well, that wraps up our 10 reasons people are leaving California and flocking to North Carolina. If you found this information helpful, please click the like button below so others like you can find this information as well. And if you're considering relocating to the Raleigh area or anywhere surrounding the Raleigh area and looking to buy a home, we would love to help. All you have to do is reach out to us. My number's right here on the screen. Whether you want to give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email, we would love to chat. Till next time, we'll see y'all later.